He is the most terrifying gang boss. A young man who had been scammed managed to escape from his fraudulent gambling compound and was lucky enough to encounter patrolling police on the road. However, the man who chased him all the way there didn't care about the police at all. He pulled out a sharp knife and walked right up to them. He looked at the young man, who was still clinging to life after being stabbed, surprised by his resilience, but ultimately delivered a final stomp to the young man's chest. This wolf-like man is named Chang Ki. A former Special Forces operative, he manages an online gambling ring in the Philippines, forcing kidnapped programmers to write fraud code and using beautiful young women as online dealers. To maximize his profits, he absolutely does not allow other casinos to exist in the same area. Once he discovers a rival, he immediately rushes to their compound with a large group of men. He uses a pre-arranged excavator to ruthlessly smash open the gates, and his minions rush into the building with machetes, starting a bloody brawl. Chang Ki pulls out his favorite small dagger and fiercely stabs the thugs rushing at him. Seeing that Chang Ki is a tough opponent not to be trifled with, the rival leader doesn't dare to face him head-on and quickly runs into the warehouse. He calls out more assassins armed with blades, but Chang Ki is exceptionally fierce, taking them down one by one as they charge. At this moment, the rival leader runs out with a gun and fires wildly at Chang Ki's men. Emboldened by the gun, the rival leader shouts arrogantly. Just when he thinks he has the upper hand, Chang Ki suddenly jumps out from behind a curtain. Chang Ki shoots the leader in the head, finally ending the slaughter. He seizes all the member data from this compound and uploads it to his server. Chang Ki is not the final boss. The real mastermind is Seoul, who is far away in South Korea. He is a famous Korean IT elite, very smart but incredibly sinister. Chang Ki manages the casinos in the Philippines for Seoul, but every time he asks for money, Seoul stalls him. Although Chang Ki is very unhappy inside, he has to trust Seoul time and again, as he and his brothers rely on him for their livelihood. Meanwhile, in a small alley in South Korea, two thugs are sneakily stuffing a bag of contraband into a crack in the wall. This is their secret spot for underground contraband transactions. Just as the two are about to leave, several plainclothes police officers surround them. At this moment, another accomplice arrives on a motorcycle. Seeing the bad situation, he tries to hit the gas and flee, but finds the tires smoking and the bike not moving. It turns out a burly man is holding onto his motorcycle, looking at him with a grin. This man is the monster cop known as One Punch Man, who protects the peace of the district. Seok-do. He leads his detectives to the nearest hideout based on the thug's confession. The group rushed in only to be dumbfounded by a locked iron gate inside the room with the illegal traders behind it. Seeing the police, the illegal traders hurriedly started destroying evidence, even pouring contraband into the toilet. The detectives get anxious, but the iron gate is locked tight and cannot be opened. At this moment, Seok-do tells everyone to step back. He grabs the iron gate with both hands, exerts his strength, and forcibly rips the iron gate open with just a few tugs. The illegal dealers are stunned. They rush up wanting to fight the police, but they don't know that under Seok-do's leadership, every member of this squad is highly skilled. Seok-do sends an opponent to sleep on the floor with just one punch. While checking the dealers' phones, a colleague discovers that this group is secretly selling contraband through a second-hand trading app. So Seok-do asks his colleague to check who the developer of this app is to see if they can find the mastermind. The investigation reveals that the developer, Sung-jae, was killed in the Philippines 2 days ago. He was the young man stabbed by Chang Ki. Seeing the scarred body transported back, Seok-do feels the case is not that simple. Leaving the morgue, Seok-do meets Sung-jae's mother. She couldn't understand why her son had gone to the Philippines for work just a few months ago, only to lose contact completely. And now, when they finally met again, it was already a farewell between the living and the dead. Looking at the grieving woman, Seok-do feels terrible. Through photos in the cloud backup of Sung-jae's phone, Seok-do learns that Sung-jae was likely working at an underground casino in the Philippines, but the details of the casino are unclear. Under the leadership's arrangement, a cybercrime investigation team is specially established, and Jisoo from the cyber unit is brought in to assist. Wanting to get more useful information, Seok-do decides to visit Sung-jae's mother again. Unexpectedly, she took her own life, unable to bear the pain of losing her son. Before she died, she left a note specifically for Seok-do, begging him to catch the murderer. Looking at the innocent citizen's plea, Seok-do silently vows to eradicate the evil and avenge this mother. With expert help, the work is indeed efficient. Jisoo quickly finds the gambling website named Emperor Casino online, but then a problem arises. Registering an account requires a deposit, but the investigation team has just been formed and hasn't received funding yet. Seok-do decides to solve this problem himself. Hearing this, Jisoo perks up. Having never done fieldwork, she wanted to tag along with the famous detective to see some action. The place where Seok-do gets the money is a nightclub. Two gang leaders are negotiating over territory. Just as tensions rise and a fight is about to break out, Seok-do interrupts them. A few thugs don't recognize Seok-do and try to attack him, so Seok-do shows off his superboxing skills again. The subordinates might not recognize Seok-do, but the bosses know he is a man they can't afford to mess with. The arrogant gang bosses instantly turn into obedient children. Seok-do then asks the two for a mediation fee. Without a word, the two gang bosses obediently take out their wallets and pay up. On the other side, a large truck drives into Chang-ki's compound. This is smuggled goods Dong-cheol forced on him again, wanting Chang-ki to sell them. Chang-ki calls Dong-cheol, demanding he increase his shares first. But before he can finish speaking, Dong-cheol impatiently hangs up. Chang-ki laughs out of anger and decides to return to Korea personally to see what's going on. His return is bound to set off a storm of blood. Although Seok-do's investigation team successfully registered several Emperor casino accounts, the website's IP address changes frequently, so they can't find the specific location, causing the investigation to progress very slowly. A colleague suggests getting someone with casino experience to help. An ideal candidate immediately pops into Seok-do's mind. On the street, a yellow Porsche 911 pulls up. A man with long hair, wearing sunglasses and carrying a Gucci bag, steps out. This is Yi-soo. Just as he is scolding his subordinates, the horn of the sports car parked at his entrance starts honking non-stop. Someone seems to be messing with his car. Yi-soo is just about to curse when the person turns around. It is his nemesis, Seok-do. Yi-soo stands frozen on the spot, not daring to make a sound. Just like that, he is obediently summoned to the police station. Yi-soo, who once ran an online casino, reveals the truth instantly. Emperor Casino is just a branch of a massive money laundering organization in Korea. According to his knowledge, another casino is located not far away in Samseong-dong. Seok-do immediately wants to launch an operation. Yi-soo thinks he is off the hook, but Seok-do calls him to come along. It turns out he has been entrusted with a heavy responsibility again. He and Ji-soo disguise themselves as rich business people and go to the casino in Samseong-dong. Seok-do gets a bit too into character and almost blows his undercover identity. After being slapped by Ji-soo, Seok-do acts very angry, deliberately loses all the money, and turns to leave. Unexpectedly, they actually hook a big fish. A casino promoter follows them to introduce Seok-do to more interesting ways to play. Then, he takes out his phone and introduces them to the Emperor Casino website. Seeing the fish take the bait, Yi-soo can't help but immediately report the good news to Seok-do via earpiece. This action scares the promoter, who quickly runs out. As soon as he runs out of the casino, he is surrounded by 3 police officers. The promoter swings his delivery box at them, and for a moment, the group can't subdue him. At this moment, Seok-do steps up and ends the fight with another punch. Under the double pressure of Seok-do and Yi-soo, the promoter can't withstand the stress, and finally reveals that his superior is Yu-sung, who is in charge of money laundering, and this person is returning to Korea in the next few days. So Seok-do led his men to set up an operation at the airport, waiting for Yu-sung to get off the plane. Coincidentally, Chang-ki also arrives in Korea on this day and walks right past Seok-do. Without suspense, Yu-sung is taken back to the police station. But knowing there is a terrifying existence in his group, he dares not reveal any useful information to the police. Meanwhile, Chang-ki has arrived at Dong-cheol's residence to demand all the shares and money owed to him. But how could the cunning Dong-cheol easily hand over the money to Chang-ki? He asks Chang-ki to first take care of a disobedient prosecutor for him, saying everything can be discussed after the matter is resolved. It is obvious Chang-ki is suppressing his anger, but he agrees to work for Dong-cheol one more time. At night, Representative Ko is still negotiating with the prosecutor in a car, even taking out 10 million in cash to bribe him. But the prosecutor ignores him and prepares to call the police. Chang-ki, who has been waiting outside the car, doesn't want to wait anymore. He opens the door, stabs Representative Ko to death with his dagger, and pushes the body toward the prosecutor. Having never seen such a scene, the prosecutor is scared silly on the spot, trembling as he takes the blood-stained bribe money. Chang-ki kills 2 birds with 1 stone. He could have just threatened the prosecutor, but he chose to kill Representative Ko as a warning to Dong-cheol. Dong-cheol understands Chang-ki's intent, but he tells Chang-ki that Yu-sung has been caught by the police and might spill everything soon. Chang-ki knows this is a request to eliminate the problem. The next day, a large number of delivery drivers suddenly swarm into the police station to deliver food. Strangely, none of the police officers ordered takeout. For a moment, the entire station is packed with delivery drivers, creating chaos. All the officers run out of their offices to maintain order. At this time, Yu-sung is sitting in the interrogation room waiting for his lawyer. But instead of a lawyer, he waits for Chang-ki. Chang-ki has a habit when killing. He must watch the victim take their last breath right in front of him. Seeing that Yu-sung is thoroughly dead, he leaves the room. Only he would dare to kill someone inside a police station. Representative Ko's body is also found and sent for autopsy. The forensic examination reveals that his wounds are identical to those of Sung Jae, who died in the Philippines. Seok-do knows the murderer has come to Korea. Man-jae's investigation discovers that Representative Ko owned a cryptocurrency trading company holding a launch party tonight. So Seok-do decides to go to the scene with Man-jae to check the situation. The actual controller of the company, Dong Cheol, is the protagonist of tonight's party. The party was held on the building's top floor, the 20th. Seok-do had just pressed the button when the elevator doors opened again. Chang-ki enters the elevator with two subordinates. Chang-ki sees Seok-do and instantly realizes he is no ordinary person. Seeing he is also going to the 20th floor, the meticulous Chang-ki presses the button for the 19th floor. The elevator falls into a deadly silence, the air pressure terrifyingly low. Chang-ki looks down and sees Seok-do wearing dirty sneakers, guessing his profession. Seok-do also steals a glance at Chang-ki and notices tattoos on his hands. The 19th floor arrives. Watching the men walk out, Seok-do blocks the closing elevator door with his hand. Professional intuition tells him something is very wrong with them, so he follows them with Man-jae. At the end of the corridor is a restroom. He and Man-jae go in separately to check. Man-jae walks into the men's room and Chang-ki is inside. Not knowing this man is extremely dangerous, he reaches out to ask Chang-ki for ID. Unexpectedly, Chang-ki pulls out his dagger directly. Man-jae is no match for the former Special Forces operative Chang-ki. He shouts Seok-do's name while fending off Chang-ki's attacks. On the other side, Seok-do is also engaged. Although Chang-ki's subordinate Ji-hoon has high combat skills, he is not Seok-do's match and is knocked down after a few punches. Chang-ki's other minion, Jason, rushes over but is also no match for Seok-do, getting slammed heavily into a mirror. Meanwhile, Man-jae had already been beaten by Chang-ki into a bathroom stall. Just as Chang-ki prepares to finish him off, a cleaning lady walks in. Seeing the cleaner, Chang-ki changes his mind. He takes the cleaning lady hostage and enters another restroom. To save Ji-hoon, he ruthlessly stabs the cleaner in the neck and then quickly evacuates with Ji-hoon. Seok-do cannot leave an innocent injured person behind and can only watch helplessly as Chang-ki escapes. Although Chang-ki got away, they left behind an unconscious subordinate. Furious, Seok-do won't let Jason off easy. He forces a helmet onto Jason's head and beats him severely. After this clash, Seok-do finally identifies Chang-ki. It turns out this man served in the Special Forces and was discharged for causing mass civilian casualties during a mission. He is now the head of Emperor Casino. Dong Cheol learns that Chang-ki went to the party that night to ask for money, but ran into the police and fled. He has made it clear he wants to renege on the debt, but fearing Chang-ki's revenge, the insidious man finds another gangster, President Kwon. Dong Cheol asks President Kwon to kill Chang-ki, promising him control of the casino business afterward. After sending President Kwon away, Dong Cheol places the hard drive containing all the server information of his online members into his safe. Although his safe is full of cash, the most valuable item is the data on that hard drive. Meanwhile, Chang-ki, at the center of the storm, is hiding in a hotel suite. The TV is broadcasting news about the murder cases linked to him. Ji-hoon advises him to return to the Philippines, but Chang-ki feels he can't leave yet, at least not until he gets his share. Suddenly, the power in the room goes out. President Kwon breaks into the room with a large group of men. Chang-ki shows no fear, sitting calmly on the sofa smoking. Surprisingly, the door is locked from the inside by Ji-hoon. Not only do they not want to escape, but they intend to wipe out everyone in the room. A massive battle begins. No matter how many people there are, they are like lambs to the slaughter for Chang-ki. He wields his dagger with deadly speed. No one is his match. Ji-hoon, his comrade from the Special Forces, is also a formidable fighter. The two men manage to defeat the assassins, who outnumber them several times over in the small room. Seeing Ji-hoon pinned down by President Kwon with a lamppost, Chang-ki steps forward and stabs President Kwon in the shoulder. With that, President Kwon is defeated. But Chang-ki doesn't kill him. Instead, he starts negotiating a deal with President Kwon. Dong Cheol thinks he has Chang-ki in the palm of his hand. He despises those who prefer brute force over brains. He arrives at President Kwon's territory, thinking Kwon has captured Chang-ki alive. Before meeting Chang-ki, President Kwon hands him a pistol, but unexpectedly, Dong Cheol aims the gun at President Kwon. He just wanted to play a joke, but President Kwon just stares coldly at Dong Cheol. Dong Cheol enters the inner room with the gun, expecting to see a trapped Chang-ki ready for slaughter. But to his surprise, Chang-ki is leisurely smoking a cigarette. However, Dong Cheol isn't too scared because he has a gun. It turns out the gun has no bullets. This is a trap set by Chang-ki and President Kwon. Dong Cheol panics, and Chang-ki has already drawn his dagger. Dong Cheol finally reaps what he sowed. Chang-ki doesn't kill this scoundrel immediately. To open the safe, he brutally severs Dong Cheol's finger. This is the punishment for breaking his promise. Chang-ki leaves, and it is up to President Kwon to clean up. Those whom Dongchil once played for fools have now become his undertakers. But Dongchil shows a bit of backbone before dying, giving the middle finger to the betrayer, President Kwon. Then he lunges at President Kwon and viciously bites his ear. These people killing each other are no longer human but demons. As for Seok-do, big moves have been made in recent days. To find the true location of the gambling money laundering group, they spend a fortune sending Yisu and a large group of police to the Philippines. They also open a fake online casino, because as soon as a new casino appears, Changki's men will surely swarm out to crush the competition. This way, the police lying in wait could catch them all in one fell swoop. Sure enough, Changki's subordinates in the Philippines discover the new casino. After manager Lee asks Changki for instructions, the convoy moves out. At the fake casino, a large number of police are waiting in full battle array, with Philippine SWAT teams assisting. Changki's convoy smashes through the iron gate and drives directly into the casino. A group of thugs steps out looking fierce, ready to slaughter, only to find the casino empty. The next second, smoke grenades are thrown into their midst, and police surround them from all sides. Lee breaks free from the police and runs into a small room in panic. Inside are the beautiful dealers hiding there. Lee takes one hostage with a knife, and for a moment, the police can't do anything. At this moment, Yisu quietly appears behind him and smashes a baton hard onto Lee's head, completely ending the battle. Meanwhile, Seok-do, who was coordinating operations from headquarters, finally received word from his colleagues in the Philippines, learning the confirmed secret location of the gambling syndicate. So the police mobilize in Korea, driving out of the station in force, heading straight for Dongchil's residence. Meanwhile, Changki has arrived at Dongchil's vault. He easily opens the safe door, revealing a cabinet full of cash. But he isn't interested in the money. He wants the hard drive with all the gambling company's member data. To him, that is the treasure that generates endless money. President Kwon had already made a deal with him. Kwon wasn't interested in the hard drive, only the cash. Just as President Kwon watches happily as his men bag the money, Seok-do arrives with his team. These thugs are no match for the police and are subdued in moments. Seok-do also fought his way forward, dropping the thugs one by one with his fists until he reached President Kwon. Not knowing Seok-do's power, President Kwon pulls out a long knife wanting to challenge him. Seok-do extracts information from President Kwon that Changki just left with the hard drive, and he quickly leads his men to the airport to give chase. Changki arrives at the airport and passes through security safely. Jisoo discovers through data comparison that Changki is taking a flight to Manila. The plane is only 10 minutes from departure. Changki is already seated. The flight attendant closes the cabin door after all passengers are seated. Only now does Changki smile. He has finally succeeded and can leave Korea safely. But at this moment, the flight attendant receives a call. She has received an emergency arrest warrant. So the flight attendant opens the cabin door again. Seok-do finally arrives. Changki heard Seok-do's voice echo through the cabin. This guy was truly impossible to shake off. It seems a battle between them is inevitable. Seok-do puts on his gloves. He was determined to teach that guy a severe lesson to vent his rage over the innocent people Changki had killed. In the first round, Changki is drawn to blood by Seok-do. He realizes now that this guy is a formidable character. Seok-do faces Changki and Ji-hoon alone. Although Ji-hoon's combat skills are lesser, their combined attacks land several punches on Seok-do, pinning him in the seats for a beating. But Seok-do's trait is immense strength and durability. He blocks their attacks with his arms and lands heavy punches when the opportunity arises. During the fight, Changki uses an oxygen mask tube to choke Seok-do, but this cannot stop Seok-do. He breaks free and smashes Changki's ribs with a fierce punch, then knocks Ji-hoon flying with another. Now they finally understand exactly how strong this cop is. Seok-do decides not to waste time and takes out Ji-hoon first. After knocking Ji-hoon unconscious, Seok-do turns around to find Changki missing. Just as he goes to look, Changki smashes a wine bottle at him. The two engage in a final duel of life and death. Changki is now like a desperate wolf. He can only escape if he kills the man in front of him. He grabs a dining knife as a weapon. With a blade in hand, his lethality skyrockets. Sure enough, Seok-do is stabbed several times by Changki at the start, and the tide turns immediately. Changki stabs again, and Seok-do blocks the attack with his palm. In the critical moment, Seok-do uses his strength to snap Changki's arm and begins his counterattack. Changki is paralyzed on the floor by several of Seok-do's heavy punches. He looks at Seok-do and actually laughs. Seok-do finally defeats the enemy. Although he is injured in this battle, he has fulfilled his promise and avenged Sung-jae's mother. There will always be darkness in this world, but righteous people like Seok-do will continue to strike with iron fists, fighting evil and protecting their home.